very clear, probably about 10 feet of water, and you can see the bottom. It's really nice. What's strange is that just a half a mile east of here, I guess maybe it's northeast, the bay is like milk. It's so cloudy, it's ridiculous. You can't even make water in it. But here, behind this little small cay, it's pretty nice. So what we're looking at right now is what's known as Salt Pond. This bigger bay is Thompson Bay, but Salt Pond is a little town right in front of us. Further down is Clarence Town, which is where the administrator holds up his shop, right, or where he governs from. And this is, I don't know which day of quarantine anymore or lockdown in the Bahamas, but it's been a long time. So we're getting some new rules out. The Bahamas tomorrow night at 7 p.m. goes in another total lockdown where no movement is authorized. No businesses are authorized to be open but hospitals, and that's going to last for 6 or 7 days. So that goes into effect tomorrow night. What we're all debating here in the bay is that it's clear that the welcome mat is being withdrawn for cruising boats. According to reports, the administrator we are no longer, or I should say that person will no longer allow cruisers on the island, so on Long Island. Even for groceries or fuel, we can meet someone at the dock who can be the intermediary for us and go get us groceries or go get us fuel, which makes no sense to me. I mean, if we've got coronavirus, we're going to expose them to coronavirus, and then those people are going to spread it to everybody else. So it's just ridiculous. But it's their island. We respect that. It's their decision. But the important thing is that the Bahamas wants the cruisers who are not Bahamian in their country back to their home country. And so we're looking at how we're going to comply with that. Yesterday we stocked up before the new orders came out. We got, I don't know, $350 of groceries and other items at the store. We're almost full on diesel. With the diesel we've got, we could motor back to the United States. And so now we're just looking at the weather windows and deciding when we will depart. But we're thinking sooner than later. The only catch that we've got right now is that during the lockdown, there's no movement of boats, right? So we should be anchored and have stayed in place. Now, we can't get back to the United States before that lockdown occurs. So we need to be able to transit the Bahamas while it's in effect. And so we're trying to get a ruling from the Royal Bahamian Defense Force on whether we are allowed to move during the lockdown. And if we are, we're probably going to up anchor tomorrow morning and start heading back to the U.S. We really hate that. We really like it here. Long Island's been a great hangout for us. Bahamas has been good during this quarantine, but they're really fearful that they're not going to have resources if this goes on for an extended period of time. And you really have to understand their dependence on the United States. So if Florida is getting hammered right now by coronavirus, if there's disruption of boats that and there are already, but if they can't get in fresh food and other food items, the Bahamas is going to run out. And so they have to think about that. And I think that that's part of the reason that they want us to go. There's actually work going on right now with the Office of the Prime Minister to basically come up with a policy for the cruisers. And, it might be that the policy would allow us to stay, but more than likely it's going to be the policy that allows us to get back to our home countries, and then they're going to just tell us to leave. So we want to try to get ahead of that, and so we will probably up anchor tomorrow. That's not the final word. It's a tough situation. We don't want to leave here, which is relatively lightly infected, and there's still no cases on Long Island, to then travel 400 miles to be at Florida, which is right now may have 12,000 or more cases by the time I post this video. So we're in the frying pan, and we don't want to jump in the fire. But the welcome mat's up, or it's getting withdrawn, so we got to go. It's been nice quarantining here. If anything changes in the next few hours, I'll post another update that we're still here. But we'll probably be at sea for a few days, and there won't be a post about it until we get back to the US.